Finding my broken glasses. Right. Yet another beautiful day. It's hot. It's going to be 30 degrees today. Feels like that already, to be honest. Very, very, very hot. Well, if you're an Englishman, then it's very, very hot. Let's have a look. My morning ritual, checking the pool. 25 degrees. Filter fine. Yep. Morning ritual. Make sure the pool's running correctly. Literally spend, I don't know, 5 minutes a day on the pool. If that, really. Put the hoover in whenever I remember, and I remembered today. Remembered yesterday, so it's having 2 goes. What are you, Rios? What you doing? Trying to stay out of the sun, I'm guessing, being black. Yep. He's enjoying his summer residence. Oh dear. What are you doing? What are you doing in there? Oh, here comes another one. You're wondering how to get in there as well, are you? Yeah. And still the plum tree lives, despite... Oh, bloody hell. Got 3 of them now. It's going to be UFC here soon. Ultimate Fighting Cats. They're a constant source of entertainment, these things. Aren't you, Rios? You're a funny creature. What are you doing in there? What are you doing? Get out of my box. Gizzy looking for shade. And that's all she better be looking for. You leave the bloody fruit alone, you lunatic. Do you hear? Leave the cherries alone. Don't think we're going to get a big crop this year, which is a shame. But there's a few on here, as long as the cat don't get them. I don't know, I keep hoping upon hope to find a load more apricots. After that fall there, beat them all to death. Well, there's one. Look. One. Not going to get fat on that, am I? Although, to be fair, that's the least of my problems. Still carrying the odd pound or 2 of holiday weight. 5 kilos. Chunky little monkey. But there we go. Haven't really got anything to talk about. I just thought I'll turn the live on. See if you guys have got any questions. And just, yeah, I might even stream from inside the pool in a minute, because that's how hot it's getting. But, yeah, like I say, nothing really to talk about other than, dear, the absolute insanity and lunacy that I see reported every day in the West. Just wonder what on earth. I mean, there's no other word for it, really, is there? It's just lunacy. It's insanity. You know, from being outside and looking in and just seeing what Western media is reporting. I suppose it's like any situation, isn't it? It's like watching your mate going through a bad relationship with his girlfriend, and you can see from a mile away that she's a wrong 'un. You know, going out every night with her mates, coming home at 4 o'clock in the morning, drunk and looking dishevelled, while he's sat at home. And you can see from the outside that it's just going pear-shaped, can't you? But he can't, he's in it. So to him, yeah, no, it's because of this, it's because of that. We've all had it. We've all had those mates that say, no, it's because of the, and you listen to them making the excuses. And that's like the European public, really. Not all of them, definitely not all of them. But when you see the mainstream media reporting, and you see some of them, oh yeah, but you know, this is true because, and you just, yeah, when you're surrounded with it, as I say, like being in a relationship, that's what you've got to live with. And that's all you know. So consequently, that's your reality. But when you come out of that, so like your mates, looking in on the relationship and going, yeah, no, no, can't you see this? Can't you see this? Can't you see this? And it's just blinkers. You know, people get their beer goggles on or their blinkers on and can't see anything else because that's their reality. And that's why I get a lot of trolls, a lot of abuse, even get death threats, which is quite, well, I don't know, what do you want to call that? Stupid? Borderline funny at times. But yeah, I get death threats. Do you know why? So I'm in Russia, showing you sunshine and, you know, swimming pools, and apparently because my geography, that must make me a completely different person. It's a kind of monster. Oh well. As Catherine Tate said, face bothered, bothered face. So yeah, like I say, nothing specific to talk about, just general waffle. And if you guys have got any questions, is there anything you want me to go over? That house is for sale now. So that house there. So that's about 90 square metres property, 2-bedroom on 5. I always call it cot because it's always written as cot, C-O-T, but the C actually is an S, so it's SOT, and it's abbreviated for Sotka. I don't know. Anyhow, regards to the fact I'm butchering the Russian language as usual, 5 SOT, 1 SOT is 100 square metres, give or take a millimetre or two. So 5 SOT, 500 square metres. So, give you an idea, ours is on 900 square metres. So, right the way up to the fences, all the way round, the house itself, and to the front garden. That's on 900 square metres. And this house next door is on 600 square metres. So, a little bit less, 100 square metres less than this one. But yeah, plenty big enough for you to put a pool in the back garden and a sauna if you want to. It's not finished interior wise. The walls are plastered, but there are no what we call fixtures and fittings, and that's very common in Russia. It's not common in the UK. So if you're looking from the UK or whatever, you're used to buying a house, you know, with a kitchen and bathroom and things like, nice things like doors and a toilet. You can buy them like that out here, but it's more common to buy them what they call in the grey. And you get various levels of that. That one is plastered. Sometimes it is just block without a floor, but that one is plastered. I can't remember about the heating. I don't know if it's got any underfloor heating or not. Again, that might be something that needs to be done. But that's 9.5 million rubles. So UK pounds, about 90 grand, I suppose. Something like that. maybe a little bit less. So that's for a 2-bedroom. We'd call it a bungalow in the UK, but it's just a single level house out here. 2-bedroom, single level house, brand spanking new, never been lived in, needs interior finishing, so it needs all of the bits and pieces, needs a bathroom, needs a kitchen, needs all the electrics. The electric cables are all run, but you need all of the fittings, light switches, lights, doors, door handles, frames. Might need to put the heating system in. What's he spotted? Yeah. So yeah, just give you an idea, because I saw it pop up on a Veto. I thought I'd just let you know about it, give you an idea of the price. What I'm considering this morning, not doing it this morning, but what I started thinking about this morning, and it really depends on you guys whether it's something you're interested in, is maybe live streaming with my laptop, so that I can get onto a Veto. There are many sites, but a Veto is like I suppose it's like our eBay, our Facebook marketplace. Not really, it's more like eBay. Everything and anything's on a Veto. It's one of the few digital sites that we have out here. I have Ozon as well, and Wildberries, but a Veto is quite a general site. You have an awful lot of stuff on there, you know, ranging from replacement mop heads to houses, cars, motorbikes, boats. I even saw this morning, which I thought, oh, that's kind of cool, was an electric paraglider, which I thought was quite interesting, and it was cheap. It was only about £1,300. About 1.5 million. No, what am I on about? 150,000 rubles. So yeah, for an electric power glider, you know, one of them things that looks like a parachute and you've got a big propeller strapped to your back. Usually they're petrol powered, but this one was electric. I thought that was kind of cool and cheap. You know, if you want to go and take a little bit of time to kill yourself rather than just the conventional route of hanging, you can strap a parachute to your back, call yourself Biggles, launch yourself into the deep blue yonder, see how far you get. But sorry, I digress. But anyhow, a Veto, all sorts of everything, a lot of houses. So what I was thinking, rather than telling you, oh, house prices are cheap or this and that, I can just sit there on the laptop for an hour or so and just go through loads and loads of different options and different properties. Because there are a lot of quirks when it comes to buying a property in Russia, especially as a foreigner. So there's a lot of differences. There's differences on how the land is registered. There's differences to the location. You know, you can have several identical properties in the same village, all for different prices, all for different reasons. It might sound obvious, but for example, you can buy a house on a development like this, which has got a tarmac road and mains gas already connected. Or you can buy a house without mains gas. You can buy a house without a tarmac road. You can buy a house without mains water, so you have to drill a well. And that's very common out here, drilling a well. Very, very common. Pretty much everybody does it. So there's lots of variations, and obviously the more amenities, the more niceties you have, the greater the price. So, like I say, this development's got everything, so it's, you know, in the upper price bracket. But there's lots of variations, like I say, and especially with land. You can buy land out here. I mean, I've seen recently 50 sots, so that's 5,000 square meters of land for 1.1 million rubles, about 10 grand. So 5,000 square meters of land would be, probably down to that house down there with a satellite dish on, and then across and all of this, you know, substantial bit of land. but it isn't residential. So you can build a wooden framed house, you can build stuff on there that's not a permanent, technically a permanent fixture, so you can't stick concrete foundations down, for example, but you can build a wooden house, and you can use it for, you know, recreational activities. You can do what you like on it, it's your land, but you can't, like I say, build a solid structure. And then there are other variations to the land as well. Some of it is just designated as agricultural. Some of it is designated as small holding. So, yeah, there are lots of intricacies with buying land and property. And also with the adverts, you can see houses for sale and you think, oh my God, I'm buying that now. That's so cheap. And then you read through the description and the price is for the house. Doesn't include the land. That's priced separately. And that's a common thing as well, which is a bit weird. And also you can see a house that's fully finished. It's got a kitchen in it and a bathroom. Read through the description. Price doesn't include the kitchen. Again, I'd never come across this, but again, that's something that Russians will do. They'll take the kitchen out if it's not included in the price. Maybe their next house has got a similar layout and they've got a very expensive kitchen, or they just like their kitchen, and they'll take it out. So there's all sorts of things you've got to be aware of. A house isn't a house in the traditional sense like we think about it in the UK. So you need to be aware of all of that, because like I say, there's a lot of stuff that looks very, very cheap, like stupid cheap, but you have to read through the small print and just make sure that A, it's a residential piece of land, B, obviously what it includes. You know, has it got mains water, has it got gas, has the electric been connected yet? So all of these things affect the price. What is that idiot doing? I mean, that is our resident idiot, that cat. It's a lovely thing. It's the cutest thing in the world. It's so cuddly. It's scared of its own shadow. You know, if she hears anything, she runs for the hills. But she'll just lay like a rag doll, literally, you know. I think she's Maine Coon rag doll, I'm not sure. But if you turn her upside down, she'd lay there for hours, like a turtle. But ditzy as anything, absolutely dumb as a box of rocks. I pulled the fig tree out a couple of days ago. I say fig tree, look at it. Does that look like a tree to you? Looks like a stick. Anyhow, I pulled it out and it had some root ball on the bottom. I've been trying to get rid of it for ages because my argument is it's dead. But the wife's had a look at it this morning and went, no, it's not dead. So it's got planted again. So the damn thing's back in the ground. Why am I trying to get rid of it? Well, one, it looks like that. And two, every time I cut the grass, the damn cable wraps around that thing. And it just annoys me. I don't mind if they look like this. If they look like trees and they're growing, that's fine. I'll mow round it. But when it's a stick, I don't see the point. So yeah, let me know. Let me know in the comments maybe. Let me know in the comments after this turns into a video. Let me know in Telegram whether that be something you're interested in. Me live streaming and just going through a veto. I can look at cars, motorbikes, houses, whatever you're interested in really. But just to give you, like I say, a taster, that 90 square metres on 500 square metres of land, no interior, is on the market for 9.5 million rubles, which, like I say, is around somewhere between 85 and 90 grand. I'm not sure the exchange rate at the moment. So, and this one next door is 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom on 600 square metres, and that's on for 10,950. But that's finished. That's all interior, bathrooms, kitchen, literally turnkey, move in. So that's on for 10,950. So I think that's good value if you compare to the one across the road. I think. I don't know. What do you guys think? Anyhow, let me have a look, see if anybody's even bothered to watch me. Oh, good morning. Morning. There are a few of you. You gluttons for punishment, you lot. Blimey. Have I been waffling that long? Right. Immense said hi. Hi. Sega Dan, Sound Kid. Sega Dan, just because that's just rude and I don't tolerate that. You're gone. So bye-bye. I have respect for my wife, and other people will show it as well. Because if you don't, dos vidania. Really struggling to see this as usual. Elismo, hello, hi. No, I can't. Where is that at? Alex, this is southern Russia. Just outside small town or seaside resort town of Anapa, A-N-A-P-A, on the coast of the Black Sea. So about 15 kilometres that way is the sea. But it's just a lovely, peaceful little village, just nice. So you've got all the benefits of being able to go to the sea when you want, but you've got the nicety of village life. Well, Aaron, I guess. No. Aaron, I guess it's not for you. So let's put you on the naughty step, Aaron. There you go. You've gone to timeout. Naughty boy. Elismo. Oh, Paul. Yes. Yeah, and for me, a necessity. Got used to it. Dos, that's a fancy house. Thank you. Which house do you mean? Our one that I'm currently walking about in? Or the little one I showed you? Rios, you're following me around like a loony today. What's up? What's up? What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? Get out of it. Run, you little rabbit. Yes. How big is it? So, our house is on what we call cadastre, so that's how it's registered at local administration. It is on 248 square metres. But before you think, oh my God, the house is massive, that includes all livable, usable space other than garden. So that includes things like this terrace, our bedroom terrace, downstairs terrace, and the garage. The house itself, if you just had it stood there without a garage, without any terraces, is about 140 square metres. You can get a better view of that house up there. Look. Fortunately, I can't get a better view of the screen because of the stupid sunshine. Bloody sunshine. Yeah, no point talking to Aaron, he's on the naughty step. Excuse me, mate, but how much does a house like that cost you, I think? What, my house, Justin? And DOS, 4 to 5 million, I don't know where you're looking, but you won't buy anything like this for 4 or 5 million, mate. You're miles away. That's without Paul. No, you got no chance, pal. You're looking at 20 million for this house. Edward, you're in the UK? Yeah, I'm from the UK. This is southern Russia. So this is a small village called Gostogoyevskaya, just outside a sunny seaside resort town of Anapa. We've got lovely views to the hills all the way across here. We're in the wine region, it's lovely. Thanks, Ricky. Hi, Edward. Oh, Jordan. Yeah, I don't bother giving them a platform, really, these people. Just because, you know, they're just sheep, you know. They just, unfortunately, they're very scared. They're living very scared lives. And, you know, a lot of people say, oh, you shouldn't just delete them from the channel. You should converse with them and try and change their mind. I don't need to. I don't need to change anybody's mind. I'm not paid to do this. So I do this for fun. So, you know, if people want to ask proper questions, I'm more than happy to answer anything. But if people are just going to talk rubbish, then I won't waste my time. I'll just remove them. Phil, it's crazy in the US we sell it all. Yeah, same in the UK. You buy a house, it comes as like one thing. So, you know, if you're buying a second-hand house, it's 99.9% of the time it's a house with a kitchen and bathroom and, you know, floors and garden and whatever else you see with it. But it can be very, very different out here, and there's so many different options. Now, on face value, it's very strange, especially if you come from, like I say, the UK, where you don't have that option. But what a brilliant thing, because it means that anybody can get onto the housing market. You know, you can start off as a youngster just buying a small piece of land with a frame on it, and you can build it, and, you know, you haven't got to just go and chuck full money at stuff. Also, it gives you the ability to customise the house how you want it. Whereas if you're in the UK, even if you're buying from a developer, they give you a catalogue and you can pick any kitchen you like from the catalogue, as long as it's one of these 6. Whereas here, there isn't that. You haven't got that restriction. You literally can fit it out exactly how you want. So it really is, I think, a great idea. And especially being able to buy a house in the grey with no interior. You just have to factor it in. But if you're if you're an interior fitter, one of my subscribers is a carpenter. So for him, buying a house in the grey and fitting it out, yeah, it's what he does all day, I guess. So, Edward, never thought of living in Russia? No, I didn't until I came here, mate. I didn't at all. I can safely say it was probably one of the last places I thought about living till I came here. And then, wow. A Noob Samaj, hello from America. Hi, how you doing? Nibby XD, no idea what that means. Of course you lived in Russia, your Russian accent confirmed this. Okay. Soldier Disciple, this American loves your accent. Thank you. Do get that a bit. Bill Smith, check you out. Good afternoon, Chris. Hope you're all well. Just finishing. Oh, mate. You see, every time you come in the stream, you use that 4-letter word. It's very rude. Yeah, it's pretty nice here at the moment, mate. 30 degrees today. So very, very nice. No wind, just gentle breeze. And yes, mate, I am definitely going to be enjoying the day because we haven't got anything to do today. And by anything to do, I mean the grass is cut. And I haven't got any appointments to go to or any places to go. So I have got literally a free day. So that's what I thought I'd live stream. I thought, well, I'll see if anybody wants to ask some questions. But it means that I can spend an awful lot of time in that thing, which I intend to do. God. Oh, there's another cat. It's not cat rescue here. That one's our Bengal. Rosie came from the UK with us. Soldier Disciple said hi again. I hope I'll be able to visit again this summer, mate. So yeah, so do I. Fingers crossed. I know when we spoke, you had a few things on the boil, so hopefully that pans out for you. And if you do, maybe you and your lovely wife can pop over, join us for a barbecue and a bit of swimming pool. Let me know, mate. Entirely up to you. Constantine said hi. Let me have a go at that. Konstantin Smorchkov. Sorry, I'm terrible. I try and read Russian as much as I can. Doesn't mean that I can read it. Doesn't mean that I understand it. Doesn't mean I even pronounce it well. I'll try. It's a slow process, especially if you're an idiot. I am. So, like I say, we are just off the coast of the Black Sea in southern Russia. As you can see, it's blue skies and sunshine. Bloody concrete's hot. Ouch. Yeah, there's no snow. Is this what you're expecting from Russia? Yeah, probably not. Unless you're a regular. But if you're new to the channel, maybe this is coming as a shock to you. You've got to ask, why is that? Well, mainstream media has a lot to answer for. And your views that you get from your mainstream media tend to be a little bit jaded. A little bit, should we say, one-sided. You get shown what they want to show you. Derek the diver there, look, trundling around in the pool. Having a little clean up. Great ears. Just have to charge him up, that's all. Haven't got to feed him. Don't need to clothe him, look after him. Much better than having a kid. As long as all you want from having a kid is your pool cleaned. Anyhow, let me know, what do you think? Are you interested in a live stream that shows a load of properties? Because I can do that next time and just show you the variations. But you know, there's 3 properties for sale here. There's a variation. So that one, as I say, 9.5 million, no interior. You've got no fancy concrete or blocks on the outside, so you need to think about that as well. This property next door, as you can see, has got printed concrete all the way around, and in a decent sized back garden you could put a pool in there, no problem, and a banya, no problem at all. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. The master bedroom is ensuite bathroom, which is nice. And that is 10.9. And then we've got our house, which is also for sale, which is this one. So this is on 9 sots, so 900 square metres. It's a custom house, so there's nothing standard about it apart from the outside initially. You look at it and think, well, it's the same as maybe the next house next door. But that's where the similarity ends. Everything is changed, everything is different. We've got a garage, as you can see, 4 metres wide. And nice and big inside. Got an additional floor in the garage for storage. And also the start of a room as well. Started to make a movie room in the garage. Shall I show you? Are you interested? Yeah. Let's have a quick look. We've got a sauna. That's our utility room. Underfloor heating throughout the house. Water filtration system. Gas boiler. So, up in there, in that loft hatch, there's a ladder, And then there's a room, which, like I say, I was going to make into a movie room. But we're moving now, so I won't bother. But then we've got a false floor here in the garage. You can see the garage is big height. And we've got this Tonka toy, which is about the equivalent size of a Land Cruiser. So there's plenty of room in the garage, albeit all taken up with a load of junk at the moment. Even got hot and cold water in here and a sink, but it's buried. It's over there somewhere. And then outdoor shower room and sauna. Cold plunge. So yank the chain, cold water falls on your head when you come out of the sauna. It's very invigorating. And then our sauna. Which is nice. I was in it yesterday. You can just sit here, look out the window, cook yourself and go and jump in the pool. It's lovely. Really nice. Why are we selling it? Anyhow. Constantine, thank you. You're very kind. Bust a nut in the pool. I'm going to be in that pool in a minute, PT, I can assure you. Igor Saver. Hi Chris, what is the temperature of the pool now? 25 degrees it was this morning when I pulled the cover off. And there's no heating on our pool, it's just heated by that big yellow thing up in the sky. So yeah, 25 degrees. Can you make the Hagrid impression? PT, I have no idea. Wouldn't have a clue, what is Hagrid? Is it Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter or something? Don't know, not up on that sort of stuff. Deadly Kitten looks great, thank you. What about the house? Didn't mean me, did you? No. That's yeah. So that's our house. Our house on sale at the moment for about 21 million. Which, yeah, seems to be well priced. Market's a little bit suppressed around here at the moment because of obviously what's going on, I guess, with the neighbours. That's part of it. And also a load of people. There was an environmental, I'm going to say catastrophe. A load of crude oil dumped into the sea, washed up on the beach. And that was about 6 months ago, I think. But of course, you know, the internet is a great thing, but it's also a terrible thing because you get a load of numpties, and especially some malicious ones, and we won't say necessarily where they came from, next door. And by next door I mean country, not neighbour. Who then, you know, enjoy spreading misinformation. So I see it a lot, that a napper is destroyed and the beach is destroyed and, you know, it's ruined for 15 years and all of this, and that's spread right across the country, that viewpoint. And like I say, you know, these unpleasant people just keep repeating it. I saw it I was in a random chat room yesterday looking, just looking at, I think, Crimea, and somebody started posting, oh yeah, looks nice until you get there and all you can smell is oil. And it's like, you know, you've probably never been to a napper, you have no clue, but because you read it somewhere else, you think that must be true, and you think it makes you look good by saying it. So there's a lot of that at the moment, unfortunately. But that's not the reality. A lot of people read that, especially if you're 6,000 or 7,000 kilometres away. You're going to read that the beach is covered in oil, and that's it. You're just not even going to bother coming, are you? Just going to write it off. I saw on the internet somebody said it was covered in oil. Well, it's not. But, you know, that's what you have to contend with, isn't it? So, yeah, that's our house. Our upstairs is literally 2 bedrooms, both en suite. So 2 huge bedrooms. And then we've got a 3rd guest bedroom here. Either of the upstairs bedrooms, you could put 2 beds in each one if you wanted to. So if you a family of 5 or whatever, it's not a problem. But we just made the upstairs floor, rather than have 3 small rooms, 3 small bedrooms, where one of them or 2 of them wouldn't be used, they just have the door shut on them all the time. We didn't see the point, so we made it 2 massive bedrooms. So the entire top floor of the house is just 2 bedrooms. And like I say, both of them are en suite, so they've got their own shower rooms. So the house itself has got 2 en suite bedrooms upstairs with inclusive shower rooms, toilets, etc. And then downstairs with the guest bedroom, you've got a bathroom down there as well. And then we've got a shower room out in the garage. And I've actually got an outdoor shower to install here. So by the time we're finished, we'll have 5 showers. Bit excessive really, isn't it? But if you're in the garage or you're out in the garden, you haven't got to go into the house. You can go in the outdoor shower room if you want to. Ouch. Didn't feel a thing. Shall I show you around the inside? Yeah. Got a little robot going around at the moment, mopping the floor, I think, so. Custom staircase, because like I say, everything got altered in this house. We took walls out, moved walls, changed the layout. Original plan would have been stairs going up that way and then across the wall here, and then returning here and a big hole in the ceiling. But we did away with all of that. So yeah, and, the mop's mopping at the moment, so everything's lifted off the floor. It's all underfloor heating everywhere. And this is guest bedroom. You can see it's a decent size. Got a sofa in there and a king size bed, massage chair. Kitchen. Sorry if it don't look very tidy, but it's a house and we live in it. It's not a show home. Not sure if I'm allowed upstairs. Don't want to be told off. Yeah, no, doors are shut. Sorry. You have to have a look on the videos if you want a full tour. I have done a video tour of the house. But anyhow, I'm waffling. Our house, 21 million is up for. As it is, turnkey. That includes everything you see. So that, and again, this is another example of how things are done in Russia. So when I say turnkey, the only thing we will walk out of this house with is our clothes. And the car. You don't get the car, and you don't get the cats. But everything remains. All the furniture, the tables, TV stand, all the kitchen appliances, the American style fridge, coffee machine, literally everything comes with it. Everything. And again, that's a bit of a Russian thing. We've had a look recently at a couple of houses, and one of them was the same. It came, and the guy said, yeah, he's an elderly gentleman, kind of go and live with his daughter, and literally will walk out of the house with his clothes. So all his sun loungers, same here, all the sun loungers come, all the tables, the chairs, everything comes with the property. And his was the same. Let's catch up with some chat. So, Deadly Kitten we were up to, weren't we? Thank you, Deadly Kitten. Somewhere, I think, I've heard that Russian pools aren't chlorinated. I've heard that they are saltwater pools. No, that's both. So, again, I don't know what country you're watching from, but you've got to always research whatever you hear about Russia. Just go to the source and have a look round. So, no, that's not true. Case in point, the house that we looked at a couple of days ago had a chlorine pool, same size as ours, but that was chlorine. Ours is salt water. And by salt water, it's not, it's not salt water like the sea. It's actually run by a computer. So it's much nicer on your skin. You don't stink of chlorine, but it generates chlorine naturally with like a chlorine generator that turns the salt into chlorine. So it doesn't stink of chlorine. Doesn't dry your skin out. It's lovely and soft. Very little maintenance, but more expensive to build in the first place. That pool now I think is about 3 to 3.5 million rubles to put that pool in with salt water and everything. But no, you can have chlorine if you want. Somewhere, love your house and pool. Thank you. Yeah, we do too. Still not entirely sure why we're selling it, but there we go. Hi from the middle of England, Michael Purnell. Where's the middle of England? Derbyshire area? Is that middle? My geography is terrible. Tamling, is this Russia? Yes, it is. Oh, sorry, Moody District. Back garden looks gorgeous. Thank you. It's in limbo land at the moment. Like I say, the property's up for sale, so you could put probably 3 or 4 log cabins in the back here and have a little Airbnb business going where people can stay in the log cabins, have access to the pool and the sauna, because sauna's just through that door. Which again was, possibly an idea that we would have had in the future. Yeah. But as I say, because we've put it up for sale, we haven't sort of finished it. But yes, this is Russia. As I say, about 60 miles from Crimea, 50, 60 miles from Crimea, just off the coast of the Black Sea. Just outside a town called Anapa. So if you stick that into Google Maps, A-N-A-P-A, Anapa, not Anapa, that's in Cyprus. But A-N-A-P-A, and you'll see where we are. Looks great, by the way, thank you. Beats Birmingham these days. What's your weather like back there at the moment? I like the balcony style upstairs. Yeah, so the way we've designed it was so that you can be in the sun or out of the sun at any time of the day. Because in the middle of summer it can get high 30 degrees here and the sun's pretty powerful. So it's all well and good having a nice sun terrace. But if there isn't any shade, I mean, you can put umbrellas up, of course, but we just felt that it was nicer to give that option. So, you can sit in the sun or in the shade at any time of the day here. Like I say, that's the way we designed the house, so. Yeah, Lucas, no idea what that means. Tamlin, MTV cribs, yeah, not exactly. Light, pretty, thank you. It's very nice of you. Oh, you mean the house? The shouty bloke. Is the tap water safe to drink there? Yep. Shall I give you a demonstration? Because again, that's the thing with what you guys are told, what you hear. You're told that, so our tap water is better than anything you've got in the UK because our tap water runs through filtration. So that is out of the drinking water tap. So that goes through loads and loads of filters and it's super nice. Let me give you a real world demonstration. It's like drinking a meadow. And now, just to prove the point, this is just tap. This is just straight out the tap. There's no filtration on that. And once again, cheers. Yeah, no, you can drink the water. Nothing wrong with it. Again, another Westernism, another media thing. That said, Russia's a big place, big country, so that may not be the case everywhere, but it is here. So I always speak on my own experience, what I know to be true. So I don't speak for all of Russia. I can't. I don't speak for Russians. I can't. I speak for me, what I know to be true. So yeah, questions like that, easy to answer, mate. The Moody District, is that an option or the norm? Right, Moody District, I might be a bit behind with the chat, so let me know what the option is. I don't know, I can't remember. Light, this is Russia. Yep, 100%, mate. It is definitely Russia. Somewhere USA. Ah. Dawn said hi. Hi, Dawn. Waving from the UK. Well done. Whereabouts in the UK? Payback. Friend of mine has a pond for koi. He has a huge apparatus to keep it clean naturally with bacteria. Yeah. Yeah. That's this filter system. What you do is you take a sample of your tap water and it goes to a lab, and then they break it down to see how the water is, and our water is very, very, very clean. It comes out the ground. Well, we've got two options. We've got mains water, which you've just seen me drink, and then we've got well water as well. And the well is about 18 meters, I think. So we're dragging out of the water table, like spring water, effectively, and then it goes into filtration. So the lab report tells the company what the water makeup is, and then they build that blue cylinder with different media inside to give you the best purity and clarity on your water. And the only thing you need to do is change water filters. So I think I changed water filters actually last month. It was about 4,000 rubles for changing all the filters, which is £35, something like that. Fidel, how did you end up in Russia? Well, yeah, why not? I ended up here because I came here on holiday and fell in love with the country, fell in love with the people, fell in love with the culture, fell in love with the attitude, the respect that people have for each other, the family aspect, you know, how certainly here in the south it's all about family, it's all about the outdoor living. You know, everybody pretty much has outdoor kitchens and stuff like that. It's all about barbecues and spending time with friends and family. Alexei Cooper. Alexei. Careful. Oh, right, there's another brain dead. Can't even spell, can they? All these muppets. So just get rid of them because, you know, they can't even spell. Not a lot of pointers there. Carlos. Hi, man. How you doing? Large Vida a Vladimir. Okay, Larga Vida a Vladimir. No idea what that means, but okay. Cheers. Just one more. Is the water soft? Yes. So once it goes through filtration, yes. So our water is high in calcium, so it's quite, I guess, quite hard. But once it goes through the filtration system, it's lovely. It's like that was one of the things that I noticed when we first came here. We put the filtration system on, and I had my first shower, and it was just you literally could tell the difference. You know, that was the comment I made straight away to the wife. Bloody hell, I can't believe how soft the water is. So yeah, I guess if you're showering in unfiltered water straight out of the ground on a well, then it'll be hard. But yeah, I mean, I don't think you'd ever need to. We've got a well, and we've got what we call central water, so mains water as well. So we've got the choice. We can flip between the two. But, you know, if you've got the option to have a filtration system, why not? It just makes the water even nicer. And certainly it's good for things like the pool. You know, it keeps the pool very, very, very stable. I literally have to do nothing to the pool. It just looks after itself pretty much. It's very, very stable. We're in a hard water area in the UK, and it's just bleached sewage at this point. Mate, I know it really has gone downhill. Yeah, I think realistically, do you remember when bottled water came in as a thing in the UK? Because it wasn't, was it? You know, for years, all you did was drink water out the tap. You didn't think about it. It wasn't even something that was considered. And then bottled water came out, and people, I mean, I remember it, but certainly people initially was, why would I pay for water when I can just drink it out the tap? And then over time, it seemed like, a bit like your iPhone losing battery life and, you know, slowing down. It seemed like the water quality suffered as well. It seemed like the quality of the water went down, and more people started drinking bottled water. And now bottled water is a thing. Pretty much most people, I think, buy it when they go supermarket shopping, don't they? Bottled water is available in every shop. So what's the difference between the UK and Spain, for example, or Portugal, or here in Russia? There isn't any difference. You can drink the tap water if you want, or you can drink bottled water, and it's the same. So, you know, it's the same thing. But yes, certainly you notice the difference in the water. God, I really want to get in that pool. I'm getting so hot. Oh, Gizzy heard a noise. That was that. She's off. Run, run, cat, run. Right, I'm going in the pool. I need to go in the pool, I think. Oh no, Hoover is still going. Let's do this. Because I'm hot. So I want to go in the pool. Going in. Oh yeah. Oh, lovely. Sorry if you're somewhere where the weather's not nice at the moment. It's quite nice here. Get out of it. Bloody spiders. Only a little one. Sitting on my water. Wasn't paying rent, he had to get out. Oh. Wish you were here. Oh, I did actually live stream once from you. Let me see if I can do this. Sorry about the dodgy camera work at the minute, bear with. Can't leave you out in the sun too long because the phone will fry, but yeah, so this is my life. And people ask why did I move to Russia? Maybe that 30 seconds will tell you why. Because I'm living a life that I couldn't live. I'm living a life that I could only dream of. My life involved working till I died. That was it. Very stressful, not a good place to be mentally. And like I say, this lifestyle was something that, you know, if you were lucky, you did once a year when you went on holiday. But, you know, that's not everybody's reality. Some people earn an awful lot of money and can afford to do a lot more, but the average person, one holiday a year for a lot of people is something that's out of reach. I know people that save up for 5 years to go on holiday. So, hello Rios. I'm only in the swimming pool, mate. Come here, you've got something in your eye, you donut. yeah, so this wasn't a reality. This was just a holiday kind of thing. But now it's a reality. Now I can walk out of the kitchen, out the back door in the morning, have my tea on the balcony or on the terrace, and then do this, just walk into the pool. And for me, that's a big thing. It's not for everyone. Some people just can't see what the fuss is all about. That's fine, we're all different. But for me, this is a big deal. Being able to do this, live this life, go to the beach if I want to. Yeah, you know, to say I'm content, yeah, I think it's an understatement. You know, I'm very fortunate. I've got a fantastic wife. I've got a good family, I've got good friends. So yeah, I'm content with life, very much so. Yeah, it's like this morning I said to the wife, what have we got to do today? And she went, swim in the pool. I'm on that. So anyhow, there we go. There's a little bit of an intermission while I have a quick dip. Might actually look to see what the temperature is, but it feels freaking lovely, to be honest. Right, is that a Jamaican accent? Yes, mate. Yeah, I'm 100% Jamaican. Sitting on me water sounds cool with your accent. Aye and aye. The shouty bloke. Yeah, we drink bottled here. I have a nature reserve out the back, but the lakes are used for sewage. Oh, mate, really? The village has grown massively, but they haven't upgraded the sewer works. Yeah, I mean, last time I was in the UK, last year, we went down the beach, and admittedly it had been reported that there had been a sewage issue. Can't remember what the issue was, but there was a sewage issue. And we went down the beach, and you literally could see from the shore out about 100 metres, it was just like a tan sort of colour. Yeah, and the sea was, well, it ain't like it is here. It was a sort of a normal British murky, greeny, bluey sort of colour. Here the water's crystal clear. The sea is absolutely crystal clear. You can see straight to the bottom. The Black Sea is, yeah, is lovely. But yeah, it was just horrible, and I did a video of it, and you could see it on the video. You could actually see the two distinct different colours, and it's like, oh my God. So, you know, I feel your pain. Yeah, 25 degrees in the pool. And I think that's a big difference, where here we haven't got central, what you call sewage system. So it doesn't go to a treatment plant. Everybody's stuff doesn't go to a treatment plant. What you have are septic tanks, and most of them are bioseptic tanks like ours. So you never need to touch it. And consequently, you're not dumping into a big sewage treatment works, which then dumps into the sea. You don't have that here. So it's part of the reason why the sea looks so freaking clean, I suppose. But yeah, I think Russians, as I've said many times, are, I think, the world's best recyclers, because they put everything back into the ground. So all your food waste and your garden waste, it's very normal to have a hole in your back garden in the ground where everything goes in, and it just composts down and goes back into the soil. It's probably why everything grows here, to be honest. Flip you guys around. I'm just staring at me, do you? Oh dear. I'm out of the pool for 5 minutes. I want to go back in it. Let's get in the shade so I can see what you guys are saying. Let's probably go back in the pool, you fat idiot. Amber Branks, good on you. Thank you, Amber. yeah, you've got to live your... You've got to not get so wrapped up in unimportant stuff and realise what's important in life. And it's far better to have a good state of mental health than be rich. I'd much rather have a skateboard than a Rolls Royce, because the Rolls Royce will come with a load of stress and grief, and the skateboard won't. You get what I mean. The last word, what the F? I didn't know people had swimming pools outside of California. Shouted like, I watch you and Sam. I've noticed just how quiet the area are. Seriously tempted. Yeah, I mean, like, Sam's a long way from me. Sam's about 1,600 kilometres away from me in Vladimir, which is a suburb of Moscow. I'm down in the south, on the, like I say, just off of the coast of the Black Sea. But it's beautiful here. It really is. The weather's amazing. We've got the same climate as the south of France, so it gives you an idea of what the weather's like. So when summer arrives, which it has, this is it now for months. We have about 300 days a year of sunshine. So this is pretty much normal now. And like I say, we live in a wine region, so we are surrounded by vineyards. Everywhere there are vineyards. And the wine here is just, well, with that level of sunshine, you can imagine. Everybody rants and raves about French wine because of the weather. Obviously, it comes from the south, most of it. And it's the same here. The wine is just amazing. I mean, seriously amazing. Certainly the best I've ever drunk. And same with the champagne. I'm not a champagne drinker, but the champagne here is the best I've ever had. Oh, has the Hoover stopped? Has he been in there 2 hours? Oh, no, he ain't. He was just having his 10-second pause and he's off again. I thought that was my excuse to go back in the pool then. Damn it. Damn it. You lizard hunting, you lot? Probably. They love it here. They come home with all sorts. Rios likes to look for praying mantis. So we get praying mantis in the garden, which I think are amazing creatures. So he likes to get them. Call them land shrimps because I think he likes them. But he also comes home with lizards and a snake. The other day he came home with, which was quite cool. I don't mind snakes, but I didn't know whether it was venomous or not. And then I had a look and it was a rat snake, I think. Kind of cool. But he'd made a few puncture marks into it, so it wasn't going to live, so I chopped its head off, put it in the compost. So obviously at the time, I didn't know what the hell it was. But I know what it is now. But I wasn't going to look it up at the time, I was just going to chop its head off. There he goes. Bye, Rios. He's going to go and wind up the neighbour's dog. I think he sits on the fence with his paws in his ears and he's sticking his tongue out going, nah, 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 nah. I'm free, you're not. Trucker boy, you're right, mate. Here in the UK, you work for a rubbish wage, and if you're really lucky, you can retire at about 67, but then get screwed with the cost of living. How much do you need to do what you do? Right, this is gonna... You better sit down, mate. So, in this region, if we... Well, let's give you some examples of costs, and then you can figure it out yourself, rather than me saying, oh, you need X amount, because everybody's different, you know, different families, different wants, food, etc. We eat very well. We've got several butchers in our village, butcher shops in our village, and we go to one particular one that has got a fantastic selection of meat, really, really good. Actually did a video on that, so have a look on the channel, Russian butcher shop. Lovely guys, and the quality of the meat is lovely. I went in there yesterday and it was absolutely packed to the rafters. So they're a new business and I think they're expanding all the time. And yeah, it was like, oh God. It's like a kid in a sweet shop. So we eat very, very well. We eat very nicely. Fresh food all the time. Fresh fruit, fresh veg, fresh meat from the butchers, fresh bread, you know, no GMO stuff because it's banned here. You can't go genetically modifying things. It's not allowed. So we eat well. Our weekly shopping bill is around 5,000 rubles a week, about £45 a week for 3 of us. Petrol, you've seen the car, got a 4x4 Land Cruiser size. It's petrol, and I spend between 6,000 and 8,000 rubles a month, so between 50 and 70 pounds a month on petrol. Our electricity bill last month was 30, I want to say £32. Let's say 32, let's say £35 was our electricity bill for the month. I'll say that again because some of you might be going, what? Yeah, let's say £35 for the month for electric. But bearing in mind, we've got 3 air conditioning units, we've got an electric sauna, which is 12 kilowatts, and we've got a swimming pool that's running 24/7. So, you know, electricity usage is high. And I know some of you, if you're watching from the UK, will be going, what? But here's the kicker, and you really do need to sit down for this. Our gas bill last month was 90 pence. This month, 68 pence. Yeah. For the month, that is, not for a day. Water bill, well, if you have a well and you run your well in through a filtration system, your water's free. You just, you know, it's free forever. If you're on central water, it's pennies. It literally is pennies. I don't even bother to ask how much it is because it doesn't matter. It's so insignificant. Same with property tax and land tax. You don't have council tax here. There's no such thing. Property tax and land tax is, again, literally pennies. I've covered that many times in videos. You know, it really is. You're looking at, I don't know, £6 or £7 for the year. It's just insane. It's just insane. So yeah, that gives you an idea of the sort of cost of living, I suppose, out here where we are. But yeah, it is a shock, you know. And yeah, don't get me wrong, everything's relative. If you're a Russian, the average salary in this region is about 45,000 rubles a month, 50,000, something like that. The average. But you can live on that very easily, very, very easily. And, well, case in point, clearly they do. Most people own their own property. Some people have more than one property. So they'll have a home here in the south as like a summer residence and live in maybe Moscow or St. Petersburg, or, you know, work in the north. That's a common thing. People will work in the north, in the colder regions where, you know, conditions are harsher if you're a summer person. And then they'll retire here, and they'll retire early because, you know, they pay good money. So they'll build a property down here and retire. Yush, greetings from India. Greetings, thank you. Tim, how do you find the meat? I was in Moscow last month and found that the meat was a lot more filling than back here in Australia. I suspect we feed cows with soy and other nonsense here in the West. Yeah. How I find... I'll tell you... Went into the butcher's shop yesterday. Like I say, it's our local butchers. Lovely. Have a look at my video. Really nice people. And it's a growing business. They haven't been open that long. Only a couple of months. and they're just getting bigger and bigger. The selection is getting bigger and bigger. Every time I go in there, there's more stuff. I went in there yesterday and I should have filmed it, because I said to the wife, are these turkeys? And she said, no, they're chickens. And I went, no, these. And she said, yes, they're chickens. Are you sure? That's how big the chickens were. They were freaking massive. So how do I find the meat here? Yeah, really nice. Really, 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 really nice. We bought a load of ribs yesterday, pork ribs. Bought some marinated pork for the barbecue. We stuck it on skewers, etc. They make lovely sausages in that butcher shop. Really, really lovely. Beef and pork and chicken, but big, big long sausages. Oh dear, can't remember what else we bought. We bought loads of stuff yesterday, and yeah, it's lovely. So I had a bit of meat sweats last night, I've got to be honest. I ate a lot of meat, but no, it's lovely. Really nice. I bashed a robot with a metal bar. Good for you. God, I'm like a trained chimp, aren't I? Dance, monkey boy, dance. What's the next one? Sir Lanceferot. Say Goida. Yeah. Okay. Cradle 5. How much does a house cost with a pool like yours? It's all relative. Our region, I think, is the third most expensive region in Russia, bearing in mind there are over 90 regions in Russia. So it's not a particularly cheap region, but this house is 20 million rubles, 21 million rubles, which is around 180, 190 grand of UK money. And that's on 900 square metres with a pool and a sauna and terraces, etc. Big garage. But, you can spend, if all you want is, like a house next door, for example, if you just want 2 bedrooms, your master bedroom ensuite, big back garden, you can put a pool in the garden, you can do an above ground pool for £1,000, or you can do a fancy pool in ground at salt water for 3 million, depends what you want to spend. But yeah, if you said 10 million, you could have a nice, nice 2-bedroom house and a pool. 10 million rubles being about 90 grand. So if you've got a reasonable property in the UK and you own it, if you can sell up and, sell everything, which is what we did, sold the cars, watches, anything that wasn't nailed down. We moved to Russia here with a suitcase, or a couple of suitcases, but you get the idea. We didn't bring any possessions. Literally sold the kettle, sold absolutely everything. Sold all my tools, everything. Came here with nothing apart from clothes, like I say, and then bought whatever we needed here, because there was no point in transporting it, and there was no point in storing it. So yeah, your money goes a long way out here. Something, where the bombs at? Yeah, you tell me. According to Western media, I am living in a war zone. Bombs raining down all the time, dodging bullets, missiles flying around, under permanent attack, if you believe Western media. Well, you tell me. The only thing I'm under attack from is the cats. I don't see that as much of a threat at the moment. Look at them. Oh, summer's here, is it? Bloody idiots. Yeah. Trucker boy, that is totally mind-blowing. Once my youngest daughter gets to 20, then I think I would like to come live there. It sounds like a great place to live. I'm 52, but that beats living here. Yeah, I'm 57. So yeah, I was older than you when we came here. So you're never too old. Sir Lancelot, Russia is nice and cheap. Lots of decent services you can get for a couple of bucks. Taxi, delivery, etc. But what about social life? Culture is way different. Language is difficult. Okay, so social life. Well, I hate people. No, I'm not somebody that needs to surround myself with lots of people. I never have. I'm, perfectly happy to talk to a large group of people or not speak to anybody. I'm comfortable in my own skin. So, social-wise, we go out to restaurants. We have friends. We go and spend time with friends, especially in the summer. They'll come round to us. Case in point, we had people over this weekend. So, yeah, social-wise, yeah, it's more real here. It's not social media real, if that makes sense. So it's more about, actually face-to-face interactions with people than typing on the keyboard for half an hour. Culture is different in the fact that it's more traditional. It is far more respectful. Case in point, I haven't seen any crime or violence since we've been here in 2 years. Nothing, not even road rage, not a single thing. So, yeah, culture is definitely different. And language, yeah, language is difficult. Some people pick up language very quick and very easily. I ain't one of them, I'm afraid. So I was never very academic. So language is a struggle for me. But you have things like Translate, and there's stuff out now. You have earbuds that are real-time AI translators. So you can literally stick those in and have a conversation. And of course, I'm lucky in the fact that my wife is obviously fluent in Russian. She's Russian, and our daughter is fluent in Russian and English as well. So I'm just plugging you guys in because my battery was going to go flat. And I don't like leaving a live stream without answering all the questions. But yeah, so Lance Verrot, hope that answers your question. Nice cats. Yeah, we have 5 cats. We came with one. That one there. The Bengal. We brought her from England. She actually sat on my lap in the plane, which I didn't even know was a thing, but it is. Oh, look at me showing the McDonald's bags, look. Yeah, we had McDonald's last night. Was it last night? No, it wasn't last night. We had barbecue last night. It might have been the night before then. Just, I don't know. It's crap food, isn't it? But every now and again, it's just easy, innit? I like the chips. That's my excuse. Yeah, so we came with the Bengal, and then the family grew when we got here. We got Rios next, the black cat. He was only 2 weeks old, so we sort of had to feed him with a syringe every couple of hours. And then Ripple, I got scammed with. Ripple is this one. So that was a scam. Our daughter scammed me. Went to the local market. I was sat in the car. She gets in the car giggling. She's got this little ball of fluff with her, which is that thing. And then we just found 2 cats. They just appeared in the garden. 2 kittens, which is Gizmo and Luna. And like I say, they just appeared. We asked around. Nobody was missing any kittens, so they've ended up here as well. Gizmo is the one that likes to knock all the fruit off of the fruit trees. Thanks. Cheers, Giz. How hard is it to maintain the pool? Stefan the Knight. It's not hard at all, mate. Literally, my pool regime is take the solar cover off if I'm going to use it. It actually heats up more with the solar cover on because that's the way they're designed. But just roll the cover off, go round with the net to take any surface debris off, which takes 30 seconds, and then drop the hoover, which you can probably see just over there, look, It's a little, they call it a robot, but it's just a Hoover. I think he's run out of battery now. He's been in there a couple of hours. And he goes around the bottom and cleans everything off, and you just empty him out, stick him back on charge. The pool chemical balance and everything is all done by computer. So there isn't anything. I add a antibacterial solution once a week, which is just a little cup of blue solution. You just tip it in front of the jets and run the pool for half an hour just to mix it all. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I look at it every day just because. But here in the south, where the weather's like this all the time, you just leave the cover off. We've got a winter cover there, but once that's rolled back, that won't be unrolled now for 6 months probably. And then it'll get rolled back and covered over for the winter. But even through the winter, we still leave the pool running. Because, yeah, electricity's so cheap, so it don't matter. But it is no hassle at all. It's a saltwater pool, so it's no hassle. I'm not testing the water all the time. You know, that's the trouble with the chlorine pool. You're using litmus sticks all the time, checking the water, and it's up and down, and you're adding plus pH or minus pH, or, you know, you're adding all of these chemicals. Whereas this, not at all. It costs you more money in the first place. It costs you more money to set it up. But once you set it up, the water quality is much nicer. It's much nicer pool to swim in than a chlorine pool or a chemical pool. And you've got no hassle. You know, it literally looks after itself. The computer does everything, does all the dosing. It's all automatic. So yeah, no trouble at all. How did the Russians take to you being from London with the BS British government back in the war? So this is one of the things that will come as a shock. Russians aren't sheep. So the good thing about Russians is they're capable of critical thought. And what you'll find is they don't judge you as a person based on the government of the country that you come from. They judge you as a person, or not even judge, but they accept you as a person based on who you are. So if you're a dick, you'll know that you're a dick real quick. They won't be shy in pointing out that you're a dick. You know, there's none of this being politically correct or worrying about your feelings. But equally, you know, they'll say you're a dick, and then 5 minutes later, they're making you a cup of tea. So it's not like they hold a grudge or anything like that. But equally, if you're a nice person, you know, if you're a good person, you have no issues. They don't judge you based on what your government does. And they certainly don't judge you based on a load of media nonsense. So they literally take you for who you are, which is lovely. It's what the world should be like, shouldn't it? You know, that's how it should be. You know, treat people how you want to be treated. So, no, it's a good question, Candle 5, but completely... I mean, I came here in the middle of the current situation, and I thought I'm going to have to be very careful about what I say, where I say it. If somebody hears that I'm English, you know, and I still do it now. I still, you know, when I meet somebody new, you know, I feel embarrassed because we come from that conditioning where, you know, the media says, right, you've got to hate the French now. So this week we're going to hate the French. Why? Well, the fishermen have gone on strike and blockaded the ports, so nobody can travel, and it's causing misery for all the travellers. And oh, it's the bloody French again. You know what I mean. If you live in the UK, you know exactly what I mean. You know, so let's wave a particular flag this week, and it changes. But Russians aren't like that. They don't do that. You know, it doesn't matter where you come from. It just matters who you are. Curious, is this a rich part of Russia? No, well, no, I'm not rich. We weren't rich. You know, we were living in a 2-bedroom flat in the UK. No, it's not a rich part of Russia. It's not Moscow. It's not St. Petersburg. It is the 3rd most expensive region to live in, but that's because Sochi is in our region, and so's Krasnodar, which is the capital city. And they're expensive places to live. Sochi is an expensive place to live. The house prices are, probably double what they are here. But it's all relative, if you want to go and live a very expensive lifestyle, you can do that. Definitely can. I've seen properties for sale for hundreds of millions of rubles, millions of pounds. So it really depends. But you can live a very, very good lifestyle here for very little money. Oh, Hoover woke up again. I thought he'd died. Oh, okay. Oh, look. Keck. Oh, poor little thing. Oh, bye-bye. See you later. Go back to Mummy's basement, bash away at the keyboard. Bill, Chris, enjoy the rest of the day. Time to head home. Chat next time. Yes, mate. Thank you very much. With Russian wife, things are much easier. Lucky you. Yeah. I'm not going to lie and say, oh no, it's no different. Of course it is. My wife converses obviously with shopkeepers, and if we need any trades, she'll converse with them. But if it has to be, then I can use Google Translate and talk to people. But yeah, I'm not going to lie, it definitely is easier. Nice backyard, broski. Thank you. It's not bad. Kind of like it. What do you think about the level of social segregation in Russia comparing to UK? There are very few completely rich or completely poor areas in Russia, almost always mixed with a few exceptions. I agree. You've said it. You've asked the question and answered it. Yeah, there isn't this divide. Maybe well, no, I don't even think there is in Moscow. I don't know. I haven't been to Moscow, but from what I've seen. But no, you can. It's one of the things that I love about the country, and certainly our area anyway, is that you can find a house worth millions next door to a house worth a tenner. It's Russians don't worry about what the neighbour's house looks like. They don't sort of pick areas and stuff like that. Your house is your house, their house is their house. So yeah, it very much is mixed. It's very what I call eclectic. Every house is different. Every house is different. Have a great day, and we'll be back to see your other videos as I've subscribed now. Thank you. I'm about to drive home and can't be on the phone. No, fair enough, mate. Thanks for Trucker Boy. Thanks for joining, and certainly thanks for subscribing. Real name is Chris. Live on live on the Isle of Skye. Yeah. Well, I'm Chris as well, and I went to the Isle of Skye. Well, sorry, I went to the Isle of Skye roundabout because I was running late, and I was determined to go to the Isle of Skye. But by the time I got there, I just about drove over the bridge, round the roundabout, and then back off it again. So I can say I've been to the Isle of Skye, but I didn't see a lot. But I love Scotland, mate. Absolutely love it. I hate people, said Chris, and turned on his YouTube channel with thousands of subscribers. Yeah, but they're not here in my back garden, Igor. Look. No, I don't hate people. I think what I want to say is I'm comfortable in my own skin. I don't need, some people just have to be in a social environment all the time. Their life is hustle bustle, and they work in an office with 100 people. They go out for meals every night in London in a packed restaurant. They get on the tube every day, and they're just, they go home into their flat and there's nobody there, and they're like, oh, climbing the walls. I'm not that. I don't care if there are hundreds of people around or there's no one around. It literally doesn't matter to me, because I care about me, or me and my family. I don't mean it like that, but I'm just interested in. I don't need validation from people, so I don't. I'm not interested in having lots of people around me. I can have lots of people around me, or I can have none. It doesn't matter. Just as well, don't judge you as our government does. Yeah, I know it's heartbreaking, really. I haven't fallen out of love with England. I fell in love with Russia. But it is heartbreaking to see what's going on. It really is. This man's cognitive dissonance is astounding. Thank you. Sounds great. Right, but he has a pool. Yeah. Well, sitting here, I'll tell you, I'm sitting here showing you the pool because I can read the questions in the shade here. So once I've caught up, I'll go for a wander probably. Rural sheepdog. Nice. They have water in Russia. Yeah, I know. Can't believe it. What's that got to do with it? Don't know. You want a Russian wife, do you? Okay. Where in Russia, plastic? Southern Russia. This is the Krasnodarsky Krai region, and more specifically, our village is Gostogoyevskaya, which is just outside the seaside resort town of Anapa, A-N-A-P-A, on the coast of the Black Sea, about 60 miles from Crimea, and about 300 kilometres from Sochi. At least he has a pool. Those prices for gas and electric, house, etc. will stick with me for a long time. Thank you for this information. You're welcome. That's not irony. Okay. Russia is more free than the EU or the USA. Baratoki, I've got to agree with you, I think. I have to agree with that statement. Yeah. You know, I haven't come across any kind of restrictions other than the law, which, you know, that's a restriction whatever country you live in. But there's so much stuff you can do here that I couldn't dream of doing in the UK. I mean, I can drive off-road here and just drive into the forest and camp, you know, pitch a tent up for a couple of days. I can drive down onto the beach, not every bit of the beach, but certain parts of the beach. I can just drive onto the beach and I can set up camp there for a couple of days. I can't do that in the UK. So yeah, it's a completely different mentality here for sure. It's a bloody tragedy what they've done to the UK. Yeah, it is. Can I swim in the pool? I don't know. Can you swim? Oh, look, there's another one. Here he is. Comes in at the end. Shall I entertain him? Look at that. Let's just report him, shall we? Let's do that, because hate speech or graphic violence. Hate speech, isn't it? Let's get rid of him. Thank you for the report. Yeah. Hee hee hee. Oh, they're funny. Gotta fucking love them. Gotta love them. Unfortunately, these people that come in and make comments like that, don't know if you saw it, but they're just scared. That's what they are. They're scared little boys. And they're scared because they believe a narrative that they know. They have no reality. They've never been to Russia. They've never been to Ukraine. They know nothing about it. They just know what they've read in the paper that day or what the radio's pumped out to them. So they think they're clever. They think they make these bold statements that nobody's ever heard before. But it's all just fear. It's, you know, it's fear that their narrative is unfolding and unravelling. And they're scared. They're scared that the truth's going to run them over. And they don't want the truth. They want to carry on believing what they believe to be true. They want their truth. And we all know that there's no such thing, don't we? There's no such thing as my truth. That's bullshit. That's just absolute liberal fucktard bullshit. There is the truth, and there is not the truth. There's not my truth. My truth's this, my truth's that. No, that's not. That's just your reality. It doesn't make it true. It's just what you perceive. So, yeah, I don't subscribe to that my truth theory. But, you know, some people do. But what I would say is educate yourselves. You know, if you're inclined to write comments like that last person that I just deleted, educate yourself. Because just that statement alone tells me that guy knows absolutely nothing about Russia at all, or its people. Can you hear that? That's a frog. I know. Sounds like a bird, doesn't it? But no, it's a frog. The pool is very clean. I should hope so. Cost a lot of money. So clean that the cats drink from it. Look, it's a saltwater pool, and the stupid idiot drinks from it. What are you doing, Giz? But that's how clean the pool is. If a cat will drink it, Giz, get out. Come on. Yeah. But it's got natural salt in it, and obviously very small quantities. But if a cat will drink the pool water, then you know it's good, don't you? Just turned in. So did you buy property in Russia or are you renting? So Sean, we built. So we bought this land on this development. So there were 39 plots available. We picked this one and we bought the land, and then we built the house on it. But when you buy from a developer, you get like a catalogue of houses. So you buy your land, and then it's up to you what house you want to put on it. Entirely up to you. You can put whatever else you want on it. We chose this one to start with, and then we just changed everything, because that's the good thing about being out here as well. You can modify whatever house you buy. You can modify it and change it completely, change it all around. So we did. We added a garage, we added a sauna, we added terraces, we moved every wall inside in the house, we did away with one of the bedrooms, we put ensuite bathrooms in. We literally changed every single aspect of the house. Yeah, the motherland is failing them. I don't think that's true, is it, Mark? Propaganda. What, me? It's not just fear, it's absolute stupidity. Well, it's stupid fear, so we're both right. It is, you know, it's 3 years ago, everybody was waving a flag, weren't they? They'd all changed it in their bios. They got these flags. They rushed to the shops to buy a flag to show how clever they were. And they all had flags in their garden. Where are they now? Well, novelty's worn off, isn't it, for some people? Some people have woken up and realised that it's all a load of bullshit, what they've been told. And some people are just a little embarrassed. And then the hardcore ones, you know, maybe somebody nicked their flag. They ain't had enough money to buy a new one, or their mum told them to take it down. I don't know. But, yeah. The system has traumatised them. There's no more freedom in the West. It feels that way, mate. It does feel that way, especially when you read reports of people being put in prison for a tweet on a social media platform and stuff like that. It's, you know, I mean, I don't know the background story to it, but it's insanity. How's that freedom? Is that freedom? Is that democracy? Beautiful sunny day, it is. Boracay, is that Boracay vibes? Russia is hearts, it is. I love it. I love the country, I love the people, I love the weather, I love the food, I love the attitude, I love the culture. The ignorance of many people that we mostly call the electorate in the UK is off the scale when it comes to these matters. Yeah, I mean, I saw a stream yesterday. A guy was in London, and there was a, what do you call it, a demonstration, protest in support of Ukraine, and he was walking around, and it was, yeah, it was a few hundred people there, with Ukrainian flags, and from what I could see, it was mostly like 50-something women, you know, age 50 plus. You know, your stereotypical liberal, purple-haired person, you know what I mean? And it's just like the, you know, keep your cash brigade, you know, the ones that are protesting in the town, keep your cash, don't lose your cash. They're just so out of touch with the real world. They're just living in a bubble. And it's the same thing. The shouty bloke, Chris, can you explain how car insurance works there, please? I'm not sure how it works, other than I think it's exactly the same as the UK. You just, when we bought the new car, we had a choice of insurers and choice of insurance, just the same as the UK, different levels. But because it was a new car, we obviously went for full insurance, maximum cover. But the insurance was expensive. Yeah, the insurance was expensive, but the car is insured for anything. Everything is covered. The windscreen's covered. Everything is covered. And it's covered for any driver. So anybody can drive the car. And it was about £800 for the year. So quite a lot of money. But, yeah, yes and no, I suppose. Baratoki, I identify as a cat. This is my truth. But is it true? Well, you think it's true, mate. I'm not going to deny you your right to call yourself Mittens. You be you, sweetie. If you want to crap in a litter tray. Yeah, that's the thing. Live and let live. But I'm not going to have somebody, so to speak, ram it down my throat. No, don't be dirty. Yeah, I'm not going to subscribe to this is my truth and I've got to accept it. No. There is the truth, and then there is your reality, your perception. You're welcome to that. But don't expect me to subscribe to it if it's a load of bollocks. Sean, looks great. Thank you. That cat is Mrs. Mayhem. Yes. Baratiki, you are absolutely right. That is Gizmo, who was drinking at the pool, and she is Mrs. Mayhem, without a doubt. Power to you, mate, you're laughing. Thank you. Very nice of you to say so. Alex D. I'm as worried about that as I am not being alive in 10 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. So the simple fact is, your statement is a load of bollocks. So there is no conscription. That's the first thing. Shall I bother educating an idiot? My dad always said, if you argue with an idiot, all you've got is two idiots arguing, and you can't fix stupid. So shall I bother trying to educate this fool? Because if you're making a statement like that after 3 years, you really are an idiot. You really are a brainwashed sheep. Not deliberately trying to insult you, but, maybe you need somebody to tell you you're a moron. Because that's the thing. Stupid people don't know they're stupid. It's an infliction that affects everybody else. But Alex D, with that statement, you are stupid. So, first and foremost, there is no conscription in Russia. None. People aren't being dragged off the streets and sent into the front lines or any of that bullshit. The reason there's no conscription is because they don't need to be conscripted. Because the Russian army is quite large and is growing all the time. And that's because people are volunteering to join the army. Because Russians understand that this is an existential threat for them. That's the first thing. As for the illegal war, well, Christ almighty, where do I start with that? A load of nonsense. War? Really? Oh dear. Yeah, you've got a lot to learn, pal. Illegal? Yeah, again, you should read Article 51 of the UN Charter. Because I know you haven't. Because if you had, you wouldn't make that statement. Because you know how stupid you now look. So, yeah, go and educate yourself, mate. Rather than come into a chat room where you literally are just trying to make a dramatic statement on your soapbox, go and educate yourself. Your life will be so much better. Rather than just reading mainstream media stuff and believing it, go and educate yourself. Go and read Article 51. That will stop you putting illegal war and then do some research on Russia, and that'll stop you writing about conscription. Dear, dear. What's a cabbage? Trucker boy. Attention seeking, that's all they are doing. They don't get the reaction, they set up and get threatened. Yeah, that's it, yeah. You know, sometimes I tolerate it, sometimes I don't. If it's polite like Alex, you know, it's a stupid comment, but it's polite. So he lives at the moment. But you know, it's when they're abusive or disrespectful, I just delete because I can. You know, if you want to start standing on a soapbox and shouting a load of crap, you can do that. That's your right. I have no problem with defending that right. But you ain't going to do it here. You're going to start your own YouTube channel and do it there. Grave visitations. Nice, I like that. Where are you? I am just outside the seaside resort town of Anapa in southern Russia on the coast of the Black Sea. Giganto crab, Privyat, I guess that was meant to be. Said hi. There are mandatory insurance. Yes, so that's right. So that word there that looks like Okaro is actually Osaga, roughly, covering the damage you incur on others, and non-mandatory, which is Kazka, covering damage to your car. Right, there you go. Thank you. Thank you for that explanation. That is far better than mine. 800 isn't a lot nowadays. I've got 30 plus years no fault driving, and my Polestar costs almost 4k per year fully comp. Youch. Yeah. I had a nice Range Rover before we came, and I was pissed off that I had to pay £550 for a year insurance, but I know that it is now through the roof. So yeah, Marcos, Chris, don't answer stupid people, please. Well, you know, if they're polite, they may be stupid, but if they're polite, it's fine. I'll answer it. Trucker boy, home now, 800 for insurance. For anybody to drive, isn't that bad? Time for a fry up. Oh yeah. Yeah, see, there's a couple of things I do miss from the UK. I miss a English fry up, but I also now see just how utterly unhealthy it is. Full of salt, calories, and God knows what else. Grease and oil and everything else. And I'm not a healthy person by any stretch. I'm not one of these people that runs around, you know, shouting from the trees that you should be healthy. But yeah, I know just how bad it is now. And that's because I eat much better quality food out here. But yeah, there are things that I miss. A fry-up's probably one. Curry is another, because England is famous for its curry. We know that. It's not me being smart-mouthed. That's just a fact. But yeah, a couple of things. But yeah, stupid is and stupid does. Run, Forest. Magnum street screen name. News in the media are so being controlled. For example, most of what you hear on news about my country isn't accurate at all. I can't comment. I don't know where your country is, Magnum, but yeah, unfortunately, most of what you see in mainstream media is a load of rubbish. Look, one stalking the other. Look. What's going to happen? Oh. She got rumbled. Rosie likes to stalk things. Bless her. Oh, she's off. 2 hot row. Oh dear. Anyhow, that's good. That's probably a good point to end the stream, guys. I've caught up with the news, which the comments, which I always like to do. I don't like to not read a comment. If I haven't read your comment, it's because I haven't seen it. It's not because I've chosen not to read it, unless it's, you know, beyond stupid. But I'll always read the comments, and that's, you know, I think if you guys take the time to ask a question, I should take the time to answer it. So I always try and do that. Furby, Ah, the menagerie. Indeed. Yeah, 2 of them over there. Don't know where the other 3 are. In this weather, sitting under a tree somewhere. But yeah, I always like to try and answer your questions. If I haven't, it's because I haven't seen your question, and that might be that for various reasons YouTube has blocked it, and that does happen quite a lot. If you put numbers in, telephone numbers for example, that usually gets blocked. If you put a link in your question, that usually gets blocked. If you swear, sometimes that gets blocked. There are certain things that just get blocked. So like I say, if I haven't answered your question, it's because I haven't seen it. But if you do want to know more about Russia, you know, our life here, if you want to look at some of the videos on my channel, feel free. And if you want to if you want to ask specific questions, you can send me an email, or you can join my Telegram group. And yeah, there's lots of good people in the Telegram group from all over the world. So you'll definitely be able to get some answers. Well, thanks for joining me. Let me just read. Cheers, Chris. Have a great day. Thank you, Shouty Bloke. Thanks for joining. The cats have good space over here, and it's awesome. South Africa. Hope you have an awesome, blessed day. Thank you, sir. South Africa. Nice. I was talking to somebody about South Africa the other day. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you tuning in. I'm going to go and get in that thing because it's nice and hot here. And that is my task for the day, swimming. So, yeah, as we say, it's been emotional. Thanks for joining me. Please like, share and subscribe. And at this point, I shall see you in the next one.